Okay, so here I'm going to show you how to create a new application in Visual Studio 2015. So you just choose File, New Project, and on the left-hand side you'll see the different languages, C Sharp, Visual Basic, Visual C++. If you've been taking Computer Science 1 and 2, you might have C++ selected, so make sure you choose Visual Basic. And what you're working on is a Windows Form application. Um, So you want to be sure that you select that, and then the name that you're going to give that, you want that to be something meaningful. In the projects, I've asked you to call it like last name 2, so for instance, Sorrentino 2. And you want to choose where your file is going to go. So I'm going to, put it on my desktop. What that's going to do is it's going to create a folder called Sorrentino 2, and that's going to have my project inside of it on the desktop. Now, if you don't change this to a location that you choose, it's going to go inside of your users, documents, Visual Studio 2015 projects, and then you're going to have to find it. So I would just recommend putting it on the desktop. If this is checked on, you want to check that off, or it will create a subfolder under the Sorrentino 2 folder and put everything inside of that, which can get a little awkward. Don't let this default to Windows Application 1. When you just let a file name default, it really looks like you don't know what you're doing. Okay, so then I'm going to choose OK, and then I'm going to have my form and everything that I talked about before. Remember, with Visual Basic, you need your toolbox. If it's not here, it's probably over here, and then you can, click on the push pin to dock it to the side. You'll need your Solution Explorer, and you'll need your properties. Sometimes you might want to move your properties up to give you a little bit more real estate because that's what you're using all the time. If the properties disappears, you can always come up to View and choose, let's see, View and Properties window, and there it goes. And the same thing for the Solution Explorer. You can choose View and Solution Explorer. So if any of those disappear, you really need to get them back. So that should be what you need to create an application. And from here, you can, start to drag your buttons or labels or everything that's else that is described within the class. When you're done, if you've run it, it's generally saved, but it doesn't hurt to save all. And also, if you want to close this solution so that you can start another application, you just choose Close Solution. Now, keep in mind that this put my project on my desktop in a folder called Sorrentino 2. Okay, so here you'll see my folder, and if I open it up, right, I have inside of it my Visual Basic project. I have my Form 1 designer, I have my form1.vb, and these are where all my files are located. If later on I wanted to open this back up, I think it'll work from either one. This is your solution or your project file. Either one of these, if you double click, it'll bring your whole project back to you. Okay, so that's just kind of a walkthrough with Visual Studio 2015.